Hello everybody. Trying to adjust my camera here so that I can see and make sure that we're all together here. Okay, so have you ever felt like you're stuck in a rut? Like no matter what you do, you're like not getting ahead in life? And I'm not going to profess that everything I tell you is like, I have no psychology degree. I don't have like a huge like credential as far as like professional opinion on this. However, when I say have you ever felt stuck in a rut, we're just going to jump in here. Like it could be a rut in your career. It could be a rut in your health goals. It could be a rut in your marriage. It could be like just, anyway, if you can comment below the first thing that came into your mind this moment when I'm talking about this, that would be awesome. Just get your brain going while we listen to this video. But I want you to have something specific in mind. So whatever came to your mind first that you're in a rut about, or have been, you're working on it currently, or you want to get out, comment it below. Thanks, Mandy, on my cute braids. And I want to let you know that if you watch this video to the end, I'm going to do a giveaway with something that has helped me to achieve what we're going to talk about in this video. So let me describe a time in my life that will help you understand like how one of the biggest things that happened to me that helped me make this mind shift about an abundant life and a mind that was more open to change and possibilities. I was about 2.5 years ago, I had just quit one of my jobs that I'd had for 8 years, and I had jumped into an online entrepreneur business, and it was going really well. I was proud of all my efforts, and my original motivation for getting into the company was playing out well, and it was going really well, but it was getting hard. I was having a lot of criticism. I was having a lot of self-doubt as different parts of this business started to grow, and my leadership and my self-confidence was being stretched to the max. And there was a time, though, when I was getting ready for bed, and I came, into my bedroom. My husband was just laying in bed, and he was laying there on top of the covers, and he was looking at the ceiling, and he was just staring. And I looked at him, and I could just tell that something was wrong. And I, got next to him. I said, "What's going on? Like, I can tell you're distracted." He'd just been a little, on edge for some days, and he goes, "I don't know how much of this I can handle. I don't know if I can do this for a long period of time." And I was like, "What are you talking about? What are you doing?" "Hey, Grant." Shh. I'm like, "What are you doing that is so, what's so hard?" And it was that moment that he opened up to me for the first time in years at how hard his job was becoming for him. He was working a lot of hours. He was very on demand. He was very sought after, working on multiple projects, just an amazing, amazing employee for this small business that was growing exponentially. And he's like, it's so much. It is so much for me to bear. Grant, please go downstairs or something, okay? Because you're a little bit loud. Please? Okay, then go over there and be a little bit quieter, okay? Gotta love motherhood, right? But anyway, it hit home to me that my dream and my goal in my entrepreneurship was small compared to what it could be. And it hit me really hard that he wasn't, he was okay in his job, but he realized there was no bargaining chip. If he went to his boss to ask for maybe less hours, or there was nothing to bargain with. He was afraid he might lose his job if he got real with his employer and explained the stress that was going on in our family because of how much he was working and the amount of stress that he was under. And I didn't even, anyway. And so that sparked this fire in my heart that somehow things had to change bigger. things had to change in a really big way for our family. I felt a deep desire to offer him that bargaining chip, to offer him that freedom, because I had felt the strain. We weren't able to go on weekly dates. We were like, it was at that point where it was like he was seeing his kids for an hour a day. I mean, and I see other people do that, so I know that we weren't like the only people doing that, but I was trying to get this thing started. It was a passion in my heart for some other reasons, but that became this huge moment when I realized we'd been in this rut for too long of thinking that if we work harder, things will just get better. Something actually had to change, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but that was when the pain of changing was more than the pain of just kind of letting things roll out and be how it was going to play out. I didn't know what that was. And I had been seeing people posting in social media or, even some books I had started reading talking about this abundance mindset and this abundance way of thinking that success financially in marriage, relationships, whatever, isn't a small number of people. It's available to anybody that wants to go get it. There is enough to go around. And I didn't realize that I kind of had this mental block about that, that I couldn't do that because I didn't get this degree, or I can't be a leader, or it's just not in our cards, or whatever our reasons were. I had this thing. So everything was tight at that time. We weren't dreaming very big. It was just kind of like, let's get to the next year, hopefully ahead of where we are this year. But that's when things shifted to, if these people can do it that I know don't have extensive degrees or training, why not me? Why not us? Why can't we have more freedom to travel and to experience some of these amazing things in the world with our kids, to give to these amazing charities that I wish I could give all the time? Why not us? Why can't we have some of that abundance mindset that I see these people have, where it's just stuff comes to them? So here's our lesson number 1. You can't change your life to have a more abundant mindset and to be more proactive if the need isn't big enough. And that's something that only you can decide. Only you knows if there's something in your life that needs to change because it's becoming more painful to stay the same than it will be to change. So that's lesson number 1 today. You've got to dig deep. You've got to take some time to think about those pain points. What is it that keeps going on in your life that keeps making this happen? What's the what plus what that's giving you this pain point? What are the pain points in your life that you really don't like, that you really, deep down that if something changed, some tool came along, but your mind, this is what we're talking about, right? Your mindset has to be ready to receive it and to act on it. And that won't happen, though, without a desire, without a deep pain, honestly, that is going to propel you to search it out, to continue to watch these videos, to maybe pick up some of the books I'm going to suggest this week. So how do you develop, that desire that's strong enough? Because I know that some people will, say, yes, I'm sick of this. I'm ready to change. And then 2 weeks into it, they're like, well, this happened and this happened and this happened. And they're like, why does stuff like that derail me? Well, they've got their reason, but they haven't explored deep enough why they need to change, so that every time that maybe they're tempted to, say you're trying to lose weight and you're tempted to just binge on that meal with your friends because you don't want to deal with whatever they're going to say, or you're just feeling stressed and you feel like you deserve that treat or whatever it is, it's going to be strong enough that it will come to mind. Now, for me, when I was going through this process, it was when I didn't want to stay up late, when I didn't want to make those other contacts, or when I didn't want to go through that making of, creating this content for this group. And I think, no, I can do this. I'm doing this for my husband's sanity. I'm doing this for our family. I am going to make the difference. And it would spur me on into that motivation to do just a little bit more, just to do that hairline more than other people would do. And that's something that you get to do today. Your first lesson of the day is to start writing it out. Start writing those pain points and why it's going to matter. Not just, I hate being 300 pounds because of this and this. It's, when I lose 300 pounds, what is that going to do? What's that going to change for my family, for my marriage, for my kids, for my future? You know, thinking about prevention, like preventing prescriptions, preventing being in a wheelchair, preventing being a burden to your family. I mean, those are big enough reasons for me. Is when I was losing weight. Those are some of the things that come to mind that I had. And one of the things that you're going to need to do is you can't just do this once. You have to go over it in your mind again and again and again. And one of the things that has helped me to do this is this little book right here. It's probably backwards for you guys. But it's called the 5-Minute Journal. And it has a little thing every day where you write the day, you write, it guides you through kind of a thought process of what you're trying to achieve, why you're going to achieve it, and then you come back at night and write, you know, what happened today, what could have made it better, what choices did you make, and it's got really a whole little guide thing at the beginning that helps you to kind of discover those important things in your life. And the most exciting part about this today is I want you guys in the next 10 minutes to start going through this in your mind and comment below this video those pain points, those reasons, those things you want to change. And so 10 minutes from now, when I push that this is finished, I'm going to time for 10 minutes. And the last comment that happens in the comment thread, I will send one of these 5-minute journals. So keep commenting, keep talking. You can start now if you want. But the last comment in the thread for the next 10 minutes will get, so I'm going to time for 10 minutes as soon as I turn that this is done. And the last comment will get one of these sent to them. I will contact you. So I hope that was really, really helpful for you to kind of get you started. Now our video tomorrow, lesson number 2, is going to be about language, the words we speak, different things you're going to need to change about your speech and how you word things. I know that sounds interesting, and it will be. There's some key phrases and things that I've learned to start talking about that we are going to experience tomorrow that will help us to move into this success mindset, this abundance mindset, this proactivity in your life, instead of just, well, this is happening today, putting out fires all the time, and when you go to bed, you're exhausted every single night. A lot of that has to do with the way you're speaking to yourself, to others. So I'm going to share with you tomorrow some key words and phrases that I think will really, really help us in this quest we have this week. So start commenting, and the last comment after 10 minutes will get the free 5-minute journal.